It's the Imperfect Gardener here, and look at my broccoli. They are looking lovely and tall, and I need to take them apart now. They're about 2 inches tall. Oh, this one's gone crazy tall, really big right here. If you can see that one. Well, I'll show you it. I'll turn it around. Look how tall this got. And I have read and looked at different videos and things that says, you know, put them as close as you can, put the lights as close as you can to it so that they don't get so tall and leggy, they call it like this. But you know what? I have my light right close to it. This one just fell right over and started growing crazy. I had the lights only about this high from it, and I mean, these things grow right up to the light bulb. And I kept thinking, are they going to burn on the light bulb? But apparently they don't. So, like I have said in some previous videos, 2014, my first year doing some indoor planting to start my own seedlings. I usually buy them or just plant seeds straight out in the garden. Living in Michigan, our season is shorter than some places, same as other northern places. And I really want to have a longer growing season. I want to get my stuff earlier that I can eat and use so that we have a longer growing season. So that's why I'm starting some things indoors that I hadn't started indoors before. For example, this broccoli. So I was going to show you though, here's fun stuff, dollar store buy, okay? This is Jiffy. Let's see if you can see that. It is called Jiffy Seed Starting Mix, and it was at the dollar store for $1, big bag of it. I bought a couple of bags of that, and I mixed it together with some Miracle Grow type soil because I wasn't sure, you know, how good the Jiffy stuff was, but I bought it anyway. Also at the dollar store, got some of these little planting things that you plant stuff in, right? They're called pots, but they're cardboard pots that can totally go on the ground and be gone. They were like 10 for $1. These ones right here, the bigger ones that are big enough for my tomatoes to go in when they get larger, these were 5 for $1, and they're really big ones. These big size ones that you can see right here. I don't know if you can see them. It's kind of dark in here, isn't it? I don't know, you might not be able to see a darn thing because I need to fix my lighting up. So anyway, these are bigger though. And then those I'm going to use for my tomatoes later if I need them as they get bigger. I hope I need them. Yay! So I'm just going to show you how we transplant one of these. I've already got one of these little pots ready right here. And it's got dirt in it. You can see. I hope you can see that. It's not too dark. I've got the water in there. You can stick your finger down inside of this, or you can get a pencil and stick down inside there. I don't mind getting my fingers dirty. I like getting dirty, actually. In the summer in my garden, I go barefoot all the time. I like going barefoot. So I'm going to make a hole just down in the center of it. A lot of these broccolis, I went ahead and put 2 or 3 seeds in each one to see how they grew. And it says that you can thin them out as they get about this size. Well, I hate throwing all these little ones away that look like they could live, so I'm going to do more than thinning them out. I'm going to just pot and see how many will grow. Actually, they don't seem that tender to me. When I had some that I did pull out earlier, I stuck them in a pot. They're doing fine. I don't have to throw them all away. So basically, can you see what I'm doing? No, because I'm on the other edge of this thing. Here we go. I'm basically squeezing the pot around the edges. If you want, you can get a knife and do it. And then I'm going to pull these out, but I'm really getting them by the clump of dirt instead of by the seedling. And I'm going to save that dirt because it's useful. But if I'm real gentle with it, these will come apart. Yeah, see, their roots aren't stuck together too much yet. They really aren't. These two look real nice and not quite as leggy as some. So I'm going to pull these apart. Just gently, not pulling. I'm going to kind of shake it till they come apart. See, they come apart easily. They're not in bad shape. And then I'm just dropping it down so that root gets, that's a beautiful root, get that way down inside here. And I'm going to go ahead and bury part of that stem and just push the dirt around it. Most of the stem I'm going to bury, actually, because I'm going to add a little more dirt on top here and just hold that still for a minute and put a little more dirt. Oh, I'm burying the whole thing. But you know what? Everybody talks about how, you got to be so careful. You're going to hurt them when you transplant them. I don't know. I find plants to be pretty resilient, to be honest with you. For me, they are. I don't think I just have a green thumb. I just think they are. And what I'm going to do is, as that grows a little taller, I can add more soil in there if I need to, as it grows a little more. It's probably good to have more soil because you want it to have deeper, deep roots and everything. So there's one. Then I would just add water to it to make it happy. And right now I've got to move it back into the tray because it's not on a tray right now. That water will go right out the bottom. But I'm going to put, actually it takes a lot of water to get the soil moist to start with. I usually, see right now that water just sitting on top of there. But it just takes it a minute to start soaking down in, and then it'll soak down in, and it's very, very absorbent stuff. So I'm probably going to need to put more water in a little while. Sometimes I water first, put some water in the bottom, get it all wet, which I could do with this one for sure. I already put my little hole in the middle, but having a little water in there to start with isn't a bad idea. And then I'm just going to take one of those other ones that I teased apart that's happy, happy guy. He looks fine to me. Would drop that whole root system. I'm going to leave all that on there and put it down in. And then I'm going to just push the dirt around it. Happy, happy plant. I'm going to add a little more dirt around here. And if you feel like you got it too deep, honestly, I don't see a problem with just tugging a tiny bit. Pull up, because I haven't packed this dirt down. If I tug a little bit on this stem and pull it up a little, it's not going to hurt anything. I have really good luck with all my plants. They like me. They're happy little plants. Happy, 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 happy little plant. Just like that. That's going to grow me some lovely broccoli. Now, what am I going to do with all this broccoli? You know what? I have a pretty big garden. But if all this broccoli doesn't fit, I've decided this year with growing stuff indoors, I'm putting out on Facebook saying, hey, I'm growing stuff. Anybody want some? And I have some friends who garden. Maybe instead of going to Bourdines, they'll buy some of my plants. If I sell them real cheap, like $1 each, then I'd be in good shape. Now, see, I'm not really pulling. I'm trying not to pull. I'm trying to just shake these till they start to come loose. If they're not coming loose easily, and then one of them might not be as good as the other, I can toss one. But look, that little tiny thing, it's a miracle. Look at it. Grew from a little seed. It's going to get really big, and it's going to make broccoli for me to eat in my salad. It is a miracle. Let's put it right down in there. Look at that. It's a happy little broccoli. Needs more dirt. And that's how you do it. Now, these cups might even be bigger than I need for broccoli. But since I got them at the dollar store, I don't think it's a problem. The only problem I've had, again, with these, I've noticed with these cardboard ones, is that if they cannot breathe, they will get mold on them. And I didn't realize that at first. I had them all stuck together. And boy, oh boy, the first celery that I planted, some celery and eggplant real early in the season, like 10 weeks out from planting time, from our outdoor planting time, I put that celery and stuff in there, and these were packed close together in a tray. And by golly, there was mold growing all over the place, all kind of white fuzzy mold. And it was getting into where the dirt was, and I said, forget it, I'm going to start over because I am growing them in my bedroom, and I didn't really want mold growing in here. But then I learned that basically you need to make sure it has some air circulation. And I didn't have it under the lights yet either because it was germinating. I thought, hey, I don't need it under the lights. I've decided I need them under the lights indoors, even when they're getting ready to germinate and they haven't come up yet, because it's keeping them warmer, and that's keeping the mold from growing too and from getting too damp and everything. So look, there's another happy little broccoli. I could do all these, and if I run out of these cups, I can use some, paper cups or anything else for the ones I want to sell to people. But really, for $10 it's 10 cents a piece for these little things. I don't think that's a bad deal at the dollar store. So I'm going to keep working on my broccoli. I've got some cauliflower I need to take apart and transplant. I did do marigolds. Those are fun, but mostly I focus on my vegetables. And I'm really excited that they're going to go well this year. And so that's what you got to do. And honestly, if you don't need this much, if you plant it and you're like, oh, I don't need all these, yeah, you can pull some out and toss them. But I'm just going to see how it goes this year. If I put a thing out on Facebook and talk to my friends and say, hey, I've got all these little broccoli things started. Anybody want to buy a couple? Even if I sold it to them for $1 a piece, $2 a piece, that's cheaper than they can get it. Probably $1 is cheaper than they can get it at Bordines or somewhere. And that I can make back some of my money from my seeds. Or I just might have to make a bigger garden. Oh no, I better not do that. My family will be after me. I keep making it bigger and they're like, oh my goodness, that's too big of a garden for one person. But I love it. It makes me happy. Last year I actually took a break from gardening and I missed my vegetable garden. It was for various reasons, but at any rate, I'm so happy to be back at it this year and I can't wait. And it's fun. So that's how you transplant something. And whoop, there we go. Happy little plants. Happy, happy. Have a great day gardening. And if you live in Michigan, don't be afraid to start your seedlings. I'm going to post this probably today, and it's in mid-April right now. Actually, April 7th or so today. It's not too late to start some indoor things because, honestly, a good start date for things like tomatoes and things that are not able to live with a frost, I really don't put that stuff out there till the very end of May in Michigan. Some people say, hey, you can put that in there, you can put stuff out there mid-May that's, because it might not frost this year. I'm like, are you kidding? It's going to be frosting forever around here. And especially with the winter we've had, I don't dare put anything out till the end of May that could be killed by frost. Later on, I'll make some videos showing you what I do put out earlier, things like carrots and you can start some radishes early on in May. But this kind of stuff, I want it, to take care of my tomatoes and things I want to take care of. So, have a great time. You can do this with anything, the tomatoes, everything. You do them the same way. And have fun gardening. I do.